Okay, people, we are back. We are back. Views on sport under the lens. And today we have a new guest, people. One like Latimus Prime, Chelsea fan. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Um, Apologies, people. The lateness is.
It's
Oh, sorry.
great.
Was I muted?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Apologies for the lateness, people. That was on me. Just getting in from busy day and stuff. But yeah, I'm very happy to do this. I've been looking forward to this. I saw
Yeah,
the one that you did with Mike's as
great.
well. Mike's a great friend of mine, a close friend
Yeah,
of mine. So
yeah,
I've
man.
been
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
looking forward to the call up, man. Looking forward to the call up.
It was always gonna come, man. I got a lot of people that I need to kind of get back to, but you know what I mean. I was definitely looking forward to getting this going as well. As you know, we had a good show with Mike's, and I see you on there with him. You know, GVOFC and all of that stuff as well. So yeah, man. I thought let me get you on. You know, let me ask you a few questions about your club. You get me about your experiences. And that's how I usually like to start, my friend. I usually just like to start with your kind of first experiences to the club that you support, maybe some good memories, a couple of bad, or you know, one of each or something like that. You know, what was your first exposure to Chelsea, my bro?
Um, Exposed was my dad.
Mm.
I'm a Chelsea fan because of my dad.
Mm.
He's a Chelsea fan, so it's just being that like growing up, like Chelsea or nothing.
Mm.
You know, most people say that they didn't have a choice in the club that they supported, but for me, I've also always loved Chelsea as well. So it's not been a thing of like having to regret or wish I supported another club.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I mean, it was like that for me. My dad, I was born into Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I do feel like shit. I need to support another club, but obviously it will never happen.
Yeah.
I'm not from that kind of background where you kind of swap and change. But yeah, cool. So maybe some give me like a first good memory of Chelsea, man. What stands out to you?
First good memory of Chelsea.
Mm.
My first my earliest well my first the first Chelsea player that I like truly um I guess like fell in love with was Lampard,
Okay.
Frank
Okay.
Lampard.
Yep.
So I think I'd have to say his goal that won us the league against Blackburn. I don't just from early I've just loved Lampard. I'm not really knowing why, just being able to score goals from midfield and stuff. So
Yeah.
if he's the first Chelsea player that I guess I fell in love with. But my Chelsea like goat, if you can say, is Drogba.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah. Most people, I mean, yeah. I mean, even I had to respect Drogba. Do you know what I'm saying? He always caused problems against Arsenal. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Lampard as well, another great player, another legend. I say for you guys' club. All right, so that's some players that you liked, couple players that you fell in love with. Like, what was like some bad memories? What kind of sticks in your mind as like a bad time to be a Chelsea fan?
Um, well, I maybe the past couple of years, but no. Bad memories. When we lost the final in Moscow, was because my birthday is actually today,
Oh,
27th of
really?
May. Yeah.
Happy
Um,
birthday,
uh,
man. Hold on. We can't let that one go past. Let's hold a quick air
no,
horn. Let's hold a quick round of applause. Hold on. Happy birthday, Lebanese. You know what I mean?
no, I didn't mean to make that into a big deal. What I was trying to
We
say
have to, man. We have to, bro.
is, yeah, because my birthday is usually around like the end of the season, Champions League times, and the Moscow final was. I don't know if it was on my birthday, but it was like around it, like a few days maybe before or after. I'm pretty sure it was on my birthday, and I was allowed to stay up to watch the final and stuff, and losing like that, and then having to go to school the next day was just like, yeah, it was just it broke my heart because I was thinking we've been getting so close, reaching semi-finals. Um, and the heartbreak against Barcelona and stuff and Liverpool, and it was just like, when can we ever win the Champions League? So yeah, that was heartbreak.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. So, all right. So that's a little bit of an introduction to how you started supporting the club and obviously a good and a bad memory. Um, I noticed there's a little bit of an accent in there, bro. Like, where's your kind of, if you don't mind me asking, like the background, where's your background from and where did you like grow up? You don't have to say specifics, but just kind of
Oh,
general.
I'm Nigerian. Like I was born in Nigeria, um, but we moved to Ireland when I was 2, and I grew up in Ireland.
Right. How was that, man? I got Irish in me. I've only ever been to Ireland once. I went to Dublin literally for like a day. I done a play out and then came straight back in the evening. Whereabouts in Ireland, like I said, no towns or nothing, but just kind of like general.
I grew up in Dublin.
Oh, really?
Um,
Fair play.
yeah. So yeah, grew up in Ireland, and then I moved to London in 2020, so 5 years ago.
Really?
So
Okay, so I
yeah,
thought it might have been a little bit longer. So how was life in Dublin, man? Especially like as a Chelsea fan, was there many Chelsea fans out there?
um, life in school was cool. A lot of like United fans, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, mainly that. Me
Yeah.
growing up obviously growing up like outside of London, outside of England, so you don't necessarily have like for example, me growing up in Dublin, Spurs fans didn't exist. So rivalry Chelsea fans have with Spurs and hating Spurs, I don't. Until like I moved to London and I started doing this like YouTube space, I
Mhm.
didn't have that rivalry. Spurs as a club didn't really exist in terms of being a rival to me. Um, so it's not an insult. It's just it
Bro,
is what it is.
no,
Yeah,
I understand because we've had the same thing. Like I never once like they were our local, like the noisy neighbor, but I always looked at like United, even Chelsea, as more of a
yeah,
rival. Obviously, recently now they're dunking all over us. But but yeah, sorry. Back to you. Back to you.
yeah. No,
Um,
that's how I saw it. That's how I saw it growing up. I looked at Spurs as like, oh, you guys have got cool players and stuff.
Mm,
Redknapp and stuff like that. You play good football.
mm,
Cool. I kind of like you, but you're not, because I don't hate you. You're not my rival, so it is what it is. But like, United, competing with Fergie and stuff. I always respected them as a great institution.
mm.
Um, Growing up, Liverpool, like they weren't really on much, not for that long anyway. And Arsenal were, Arsenal. So um,
Fair play, bro. Fair play, man. Fair play. Tell it.
yeah. But yeah, that's how it was growing up in Ireland and stuff. And then moving here, it was a big um, like shock. Like I want to come out of my like comfort zone and stuff like that. So me doing just this like YouTube stuff and in general is a big step out of my comfort zone, because it's always something I've wanted to do since 2015.
Really?
So
Okay.
yeah, I've been watching like YouTube
Mm.
like football content since then, like from early. So I've always wanted to do this. So me moving here was a big step and something that I'm glad that I've taken. And yeah, I guess kind of about it.
Yeah, no, brilliant, man. I mean, did you, if you don't mind me asking, was it like a whole family move, or was it just like it's a Latimus move? I'm gonna do this to kind of come over
No,
here.
just me, really. It's me moving.
Good, man. Really good.
I just
Really
decided
good.
that I have to go out. I have to step out, and I thought, why not? Because I've been to London a few times before, so I'm like, okay, it's in a place that I kind of somewhat know, but I don't really know because I haven't got the chance to actually explore much of it. So I was like, oh, it makes sense to come here.
Right. Yeah, no, that's like I said, man, that's brave. Do you know what I'm saying? This, you know what I mean? Not everyone can do it, not everyone would do it. So kudos to you. Couple of people popping up now. Big up Gavin, big up AFC always, big up Mr. Robbo. Any mod, get the link in the chat, please, for Latimus on Streamlabs. I don't know how to pin this damn thing, man. So make sure you guys are going over and subscribing to Latimus. Go and show your love, how we usually do over here. So yeah, man, that's a little bit about your memories and stuff, and obviously how you kind of got into Chelsea and your move from Ireland to the UK to London. That's big moves again. And yeah, last couple of years ain't been too great for yourself. There you go. Big up, man. There you go. Make sure, big up Mr. Robbo. Make sure you guys click that. Let's go and put at least a couple new subscribers on there for him. So you done all of that. Come over here for Chelsea, and to kind of explore your YouTube career and stuff like that. So I mean, how do you think? All right, forget YouTube for a minute. Let's talk about the club. Like, where do you think the club are now? I mean, explain to me, kind of, obviously as an outsider, someone who don't know all of the ingoings and outgoings and all the rest of the stuff. Like, where is Chelsea currently? Like, what's the goals? Because obviously this year I would have said it was top 4, or Champions League football. But that's just me from the outside. So you know, where's your club now? What are the goals for Chelsea?
Yeah, no, you're spot on. At the start of the season, I said, let's go compete for top 4. I did finish 5th, just outside the Champions League spot. Again, I not thinking of the 5th place could actually get Champions League football, but I was thinking that we'd finish just outside, because at the time I didn't trust the defense. Particularly, I didn't trust Sanchez, the goalkeeper. But I figured we would have enough to at least challenge, and whether we'd finish in it would probably depend on the defense and the goalkeeper actually stepping up, which they did towards the back end of the season, especially since the Liverpool game. They've been actually performing well. Cole's been performing well. Sanchez has been making great saves and making less mistakes than he normally does. And we end the season 4th. We have the 3rd best defense in the league, it looks like, which is interesting. I don't know whether that shows that our defense is better than what it actually is, or maybe it shows the quality of the league, but maybe a mixture of both. But we were completing the aim of at least what I've wanted. Now, Conference League final, you know, people can laugh about us being in the Conference League, fine, but if we go and win it tomorrow, then I guess it is what it is. We end it with a trophy, and for everyone that keeps saying that, you know, I don't recognize my Chelsea and this is not Chelsea. Well, Chelsea is a team in Champions League and a team that wins trophies. It's the first trophy under this ownership, the first trophy these young players have won, particularly as a group. Listen, I'm taking that. People say it's Conference League, but in terms of what it means for the players, Maresca himself, and the club, I'm taking it. And now being in the Champions League, having Champions League money, being able to get better sponsorships. We've been trying to get Jordan, for example, for 2 years now. I don't know if you know about this.
No, I
didn't. And we tried to get them last year, but because we didn't get Champions League football. And the thing is, if we had even finished in Europa, we could have got them. But United won the FA Cup.
They did.
So
yeah.
So just being able to get bigger and better sponsorships will help us. And my hope now is, because the last 2 years we've been buying these young potential type of players, which is, I guess, all well and good. But once you now make the step up, you need to stay there and progress and push forward. So for me, go get a quality striker. I want Victor Osimhen. I'll also take Gyökeres. I know Arsenal fans want him, but Osimhen's my preference. Isaac is just way too expensive for 150 million. He's way too expensive.
I think he's going nowhere, to be fair. I mean, that was going to be obviously one of the questions that I did ask you. So we'll definitely get into that. And then first and foremost, again, 1 second. You know, you have to give kudos where it's due. You know what I mean? You got a final to play, bro. You got a final to play, bro. And at the end of the day, you know, me as an Arsenal fan, I'll never turn my nose up at it. I've heard all of the people chat what they want to chat, but at the end of the day, like Thanos, is collecting all the rings. You know what I mean? You would have completed Europe, and like you said, you know, with how you finished in the league, it's now Champions League football. Was it BBK or someone was reading that? I think you said you had the third best defense in the league. I think we might even have the best, which is unbelievable with how the season's been. I do believe that it's a mix between the league being a bit off the usual pace, rather than it being both teams kind of being really punching at their usual weight sort of thing. So yeah, man. So obviously now you have got Champions League, and I didn't know that about the sponsorship. So that's very good information. Now obviously you'll be able to secure that. That was going to obviously be the next kind of thing that I was going to ask you. You know, what pieces do you need to challenge? I mean, I'll give you mine quickly, and who you want. I only think you need 3, my bro. You need the defender, keeper, and the striker, bro. That's it, in my opinion. But obviously it's your show. So yeah, what pieces do you need to challenge, and who would they be?
Yeah, I won't even disagree with you on that. It's I think from what we've been able to do this season, we had, if you kind of break it down, we've had a very good start from August until November.
Yep.
You know, that period of we're in a title race, people were saying. And then from December until February, just the big collapse, just losing games constantly, injuries, all that sort of stuff, just compiling into a big mess. Maresca not getting games, being outclassed in certain games, getting lineups wrong, etc. Our players not finishing chances, poor defensive errors, Sanchez. And then we had a very strong end to the season from March up until now. So just fix that middle part. And it's weird because it's not even just a Maresca issue. Chelsea, maybe from as long as I can remember, maybe since 18-19, or maybe even a bit longer, maybe since I think 16-17. We've always we'd start well and then fall off around December, around Christmas. We just fall off.
Yeah.
And then any aspirations that we may have, it just capitulates, which is weird, but BBK Sports pick up, bro. Well, if you know what Tony's like, then he brings it on himself. but no cooking Arsenal today. No,
hey, bro, it's your show, bro, and tell it how you want to tell it. This is a safe space, you know what I mean? Because just before you carry on, big up BBK, make sure you subscribe to him, and you guys make sure you subscribe to Ladamus as well. Let's make sure that those numbers go up, even if it's by a couple. And it's a safe space over here. It's your show on my platform. Whatever banter you want to come with it, because we have been worthy of it, especially this season, and also some Arsenal fans are worthy of it. Big up Yasser. You know Yasser. You know what I'm saying? He's always
my bro. Yeah,
that's my bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. So sorry to interrupt you, my bro.
No, it's cool. Yeah, I'll listen. I have some Arsenal fans that I know, like Alfie. I don't know if you know him, Arsenal fan. There's some that I know who are cool. So them, as well, yeah. I don't really cook the ones that I know that are actually cool and they're honest and they're not, but Tony, he can get cooked, and Igal, people like that. Actually, even though Igal's also my boy, he's cool as well. But if you're kind of like, I guess, delusional, I'll cook you. Listen, I cook my own fan base as well. By
Hey,
the way, if people know me, I stay on my fan base's neck. So like
that's
I'm consistent. So it's not like I'll cook everyone else, but I won't say anything about Chelsea fans. I cook my fan base. So in terms of what we need, um, this season kind of reminds me of a mixture of 2 seasons: 14-15 with Mourinho and 18-19 with Sarri. The reason why it reminds me of 18-19 is because when we had Sarri come in and he was trying to take a defensive Chelsea, not just team, but club mindset and fan base mindset, and trying to transition us into being more possession based and attacking based. That cycle, like Napoli fans were telling us, or telling me, I was speaking to Napoli fans about it when we appointed Sarri. They said it would take a year to just to learn the system and transition. Chelsea fans weren't willing to accept that. Halfway through the season, they were booing Sarri because in the space of a week we lost 6-0 to City and 4-0 to Bournemouth. We had like a very weird fluky week, even though before that week we were, I think, the only team unbeaten in Europe at that point. Like we were flying, we were doing well.
yeah.
So it just takes a while. And at the back end of that season, we started to really see Sarri ball click and this possession football click. And then we played, we got top 4, played the final against Arsenal and Baku, and we won. We saw City, Pep, when he first came to City, that first year, he started well, and then he had a period where it kind of fell apart. And it just took a while. It took that season to learn. Klopp at Liverpool, it took like 18 months to 2 years for them to fully learn and understand what they were trying to do. I think it just to play that sort of attacking system, it kind of takes a while. It takes a while, it's about a year. That's PSG as well. Last year, PSG weren't actually that good. They were PSG fans asking for Enrique to be sacked. Even the first half of the season, they were saying that he should be sacked because it just takes that long to learn. So I think we've been able to learn the base system. And 15, while it reminds me of that, is because when Mourinho came back, and you remember how we kept saying about how Chelsea were the little horse, we're not in the title race, but give us some hope, let us grow and develop, and next year we can go.
Yeah.
We this 14 summer 14 going into the 14th season, we signed Costa, we signed Cesc Fabregas. Those were the big pieces we needed to go on for the league. Courtois came back from loan from Atletico Madrid. What we're missing now, you said the goalkeeper. I agree. Petrovic, he's been playing at Strasbourg this season, and he's been the best goalkeeper in that league. That has Donnarumma, who is, in my opinion, one of the best shot stoppers in the world, and has Chevalier, who everyone rates at Lille as this young potential goalkeeper. And Petrovic has been better than both of them this season. So I'd bring Petrovic back. I liked him last year. I wanted him to stay, and he's proved that he's good enough. I'd play him in goal. Center back, Colwill. I've had a lot of stick towards Colwill, but in this run into the season, he's shown a lot of mentality and fight. If they're building this defense around him, then we need to get a partner for him. Because Fofana, as good as he is, and I believe Fofana is our best center back, but he doesn't stay fit enough to prove it, so it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
I'd bring in a center back to partner Colwill. We definitely need a striker. Jackson, I had very high hopes for Jackson going into the season, and he started off well, but that fall off in November, he got injured. I had hopes that he'd come back from injury and start balling again, the same way Palmer came back from injury. And yes, Palmer might not have been scoring goals after the injury, but Palmer started performing. He was creating chances, putting things on a plate, and Jackson wasn't finishing. Right. So I bring in Osimhen, Petrovic in goal. We need a winger. I would do everything to try and get Rodrigo. I do everything to try and get Rodrigo.
You need a winger?
I'm not saying, yes, we do.
Really?
Sancho looks like he's going back. So that means we'd only have Madueke and Neto. We need a winger. I know Esteval's coming back from Palmeiras, but he's a kid. Chelsea fans have a lot of hope for him, so that's only going to bring smoke from rivals. Fine, fair enough.
Right.
Rivals got to do what they got to do. But for me personally, I think I'm giving him 2 years to be like up and down, because he's meant to be this amazing talent. And Neymar, when he went to Barca, it took him a year. Vinny, it took him 2 years at Real Madrid. I'm gonna give Esteval like 2 years to develop. I'm gonna give him that 2 years.
Okay.
But push for Rodrigo. If we can't, then go get Lookman. Santos is coming back from Strasbourg as well. He's been phenomenal in that league, and he just adds to our midfield depth. Because what's annoying me this season is Lavia can't stay fit, and at certain points, it's just been Caicedo and Enzo, and that's not as great as they both are. We haven't had the actual midfield depth that we've needed.
Wow.
So yeah, Osimhen, bring in Rodrigo. If they're the only two big pieces that we have, and then we have Petrovic just playing in goal, I'd be okay with that. I'll be real. So long as we just focus on those two alone to get that done, I'd be okay. I don't think we necessarily need anything else. And then next season, get that done. Got to push for a challenge now, because City, they're gonna have to go through a rebuild. They won't be as strong. You have Arsenal, fine, they're going to be up there. Liverpool will be up there, but we've shown that we can go on a run of form. Just need to fix that middle patch of the season. So do that next year, and also win a domestic, because this record that we apparently have in Wembley finals, I don't like it. So go win an FA Cup or a Carabao challenge. Even if we finish like third and we're like 8 points off or whatever, then fine. But like, yeah, challenge next year, win a domestic, and like Champions League quarters. That's me assuming that we actually do our job this window, and that's my hope, because we're now there's no excuses of, oh, I can't give Osimhen the money. We have the money to give him, because we're getting all this money from Champions League, from Club World Cup, all these new sponsors. We have all this money. There's no excuses. Like, do what's needed to be able to take us over the line.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Because I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you, what's in Champions League football now? What's the realistic hopes? Before I get into that, there's a few people in the chat asking a couple of questions. Get your questions in, because we will get to them. Obviously, I just want to run through my questions first, and then we will have a section where we get to the chat. So get your questions in. Just put a queue if you can, so I know what they are. I'll read through them anyway, but just be patient, guys. We just want to get through these questions that we've got here for our guests. So yeah, obviously you did slowly kind of go into the Champions League stuff a little bit, I should say. So what is the realistic aims? I mean, now, because like I said, I didn't know about the sponsorship, and I also want to ask you about this, the £1 billion bottle job tag, right? Because obviously we're close to spending that as well. But I someone was telling me it's over 2 windows. I also thought it was over 1 window. So I mean, before we even get into the Champions League stuff, will you clarify that?
Yeah, the £1 billion bottle job. It's a great soundbite from Gary Neville, but he's 15th, so who really cares? But no,
Come on.
It's a bill. I think it's like 1.2. People the number changes every day. I heard last summer, I heard it was 1.5. Now it's apparently 2 billion, but it's like 1.2 or 1.3. But that's been spent over I think since when they first came in, up until I think like last summer or going into last summer. But that also that's about 2-3 years.
Okay.
But that also includes like money spent on like overhauling the squad, firing and sacking managers. It also includes like bringing young players to like go kind of into the academy and stuff. There's a lot of that's gone in. It's not just because I know people. The money is crazy, and the money is a lot, and I understand the
Mm.
money is a lot. I would like the money at times to have been spent on better players, but when you look at how bad our squad was, and there was no when the club got bought, Marina left, Czech left, no sporting director. That first summer window was just Bowley signing players and getting things done on his own. So I don't have a lot of like anger towards that first summer window itself. The anger I have is when they sacked Tuchel. They should have sacked him either just in the summer or you sack him before that World Cup in December, and then you go hire a manager coming out of that World Cup or whatever. But when they sacked him just after the window ended, I didn't like that. I've had problems with our recruitment and signing certain players, and not having a direction in terms of like a club style of play, going from Potter to Poch to Maresca in terms of those managers' philosophies and how they view football and how they want to play football doesn't make sense to me because Poch wants to play attacking and just go and press and have no control. Maresca wants control. Those two doesn't, because Gusto looked like probably the best right back in the league last year, and now he doesn't look good because he's being played as an inverted midfielder. So it's a lot of stuff. But now with Maresca achieving his targets means he now gets to stay, and we can have some sort of continuity and actually start building something now going forward.
Right. Because I was going to ask you, that was one of the questions. So it's very good that you just kind of segued into that, and I'll just kind of extend it a bit. I was going to ask you, is he the guy to do that? Purely because, right? And I was one of the people that was saying that Chelsea are in a title race at the beginning. Because for me, you're in it until you're not. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Right. People always say, but you contradict yourself because you say you're in it until you're not. However, you say Arsenal's never been in it. Is for me only because we never really looked like that team. Like even Uslot did at one point. It was Uslot and Liverpool, especially at the start of the season. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that had the kind of momentum in my eyes anyway, from the outside looking in. So, and then when Maresca came out and said we're not title contenders, that was the crux of what I want to kind of get to ask you. For me, that kind of killed everything. You know what I mean? Just from the outside in, obviously you're a Chelsea fan. You can give me your thoughts on it. I mean, what's your thoughts on him to take you forward, and obviously what he said? Do you think that kind of derailed your season a little bit?
For me, I mean, it's weird because like everything is interesting in hindsight, but like at that time, I didn't agree we were in a title race. I kept saying that, even though mathematically, rivals kept trying to force me to say it, but I was like, mathematically, yes, but like maths is overrated. Like take away just the stats element of it and just look at what it is. I don't expect this championship manager with this bad defense and bad goalkeeper and no striker and stuff to just be in a title race from the off. But there was a point in I think December. Funny enough, I think it was before we started losing games. There was a point where I said, I think after the Villa game or after we played Spurs, that we have this run of games now against these like mid-table to relegation sides. You get through all of that, get through that run, because that's a period in the season in December where Chelsea tend to fall off. Get through that period, and then the end of January is when we play City. You get through that unbeaten, you go beat City, because again, at that point, we have not beaten the big team. Then I'd have to say we're in a title race because that's at least halfway through the season. You've shown it for long enough. Now I have to expect you to at least try and keep it up and push as much as you can. And then if you fall off near the end, you fall off near the end, but you just push as much as you can. Yeah. I don't necessarily have a problem per se with, at least at the time, I didn't have a problem with Maresca saying we're not in a title race because that's what I believed. But now you have people saying that like Maresca probably shouldn't have said that in terms of mentality and stuff, which I guess now I understand. But I don't know. It's twofold because if he had said we're in a title race and we still fall off, then all of a sudden people are still angry regardless. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's a great
things. Yeah, things played out the way it did. So like I don't know. It is what it is, but these are lessons now these players can actually go and learn from.
Mm.
So going into next season, just add in the big key figures, key pieces. Part of why I want a player like Osimhen, for example, is he's what 26, 27, experienced player, has won. He's about to win a second league title.
Mm-hmm.
He's done all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure should be on a player like him, not on a player like Palmer, who has just played his second full season. And as talented as he is, he shouldn't be having the blame or all the pressure just based fully on him. And the same should be for Jackson, for Cole. The pressure shouldn't be on them to deliver.
Right.
It should be on a Reece James who's experienced. It should be on a Cucurella. It should be on a Victor Osimhen. These guys who are experienced, who have done things, who have won things.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the pressure is. So if we fall off or we lose games, go blame Osimhen as the big striker. Go blame Reece. Blame Cucurella. Don't blame Cole Palmer, who's still a young guy. Don't blame Cole, who's still a young guy.
Yeah.
And I get it. This is the football world. You know, rivals, they're going to do it, whatever. I get it, fine. But at least from my perspective and from Chelsea fans, let's blame our better players, our big money players, whatever. Blame those guys, hold those guys, and they can go and lead everyone else. That's what I expect.
Mm-hmm.
So
I get that. I get that. No, I was gonna say I got that because we, that's why we coming down hard on Odegaard, and everyone's like, "What are you doing that for?" But he's the captain, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? So just to kind of let you come back in there. So I mean, have you got faith in Maresca? Then is he the guy to then take you into next season's Champions League and get you to where do you say the quarterfinals? That's the realistic aims that you're thinking, and do you think that he's?
I think you go quarters. I mean, like Champions League is Champions League. Like you can get to the round of 16, and like if we get around Madrid around of 16 and we get knocked out, I'm not gonna crash on Maresca for that.
Right.
Same way if like we could get like a Porto round of 16 and then a Mönchengladbach in quarterfinals and end up in the semis because of a good run. Like so. I want to aim for quarters, but if it's round of 16 because we have to face a Real Madrid or a PSG and we get knocked out, then it is it is what it is. Context kind of matters there.
Yeah.
When Maresca got appointed, I said that, do I believe you're the guy ultimately to win the Prem for Chelsea, win Champions League? No. However, I do believe you can get us to title challenge. But in order to also do that, in order for me to change my mind and you being able to win us majors, there are certain check marks you have to hit along the way. And I look at Arteta, for example, and I actually think Arteta is a very good coach. But really? Part of why I don't believe Arteta will ever win Arsenal or Prem or Champions League is he's not won. I know he won
the FA Cup.
The FA Cup in his first 6 months, but like he's been here 5 full seasons and he's not taken any of these competitions seriously.
Yeah.
You were in the Europa League twice, didn't win it. This is your first semi-final in a domestic since that FA Cup final, and this is your first and then Europa Champions League semi-final, which fine, that's a great achievement because I think it's Arsenal's 3rd semi in their history, but regardless, you've still not. So the people who still back Arteta now, for me, I'm thinking, what has he still given you now to show? Like he's great to get you to this point from where you guys were before he got there, but like now to still want to back him, it's like if he had won at least 2 domestics this year, Carabao, FA Cup, with the Champions League semi-final, you finish 2nd. Maybe that's still enough to say he needs 1 more year, but he can't keep spending all this money and not having anything to show. And I look at Maresca, and for me, you get 3 years. Next year, we go and develop and push the challenge. The year after, I need to go win. But within that, though, I need to be winning like Conference League, go win. Next year, you get me a domestic, a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup.
Yeah.
And then the year after, If you're showing me things, let's see if you can do it. And if you can't do it within 3 years, yes, maybe some context may apply. But if you can't do it within 3 years, then I'm going to have to say you might have to go.
Yeah.
Because this is Chelsea. And at that point, you've got us back to where Chelsea should be. And I'll thank you for that. I'm not going to like hate on you or cut you out or anything. But I'll then say you have to go, because then it gets to 4 years, gets to 5 years, and then it's at a point of Chelsea haven't won a title in a decade. So
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, we're so close to this, and it's always good. Because it's good that you segued into it, because I was going to ask you your perceptions of Arsenal. I always do that, especially from people that don't support the club, because some Arsenal fans need to hear it. You know what I mean? Some of your things do sound a little bit like Arsenal. However, you know, you guys have had Roman, you guys have had managers coming in and out, and know that, you know what I mean, after a certain time, if they haven't done what they need to do, then it's time to move on. But with our club, it's like, oh, we had Wenger for so long, we had this guy for so long. It's a bit of a drag. It's a bit of a drag. But before we move on, obviously, like I said, big up everyone in the chat. The link is in the chat for Ladamus. Make sure you go and subscribe. Go and show him some love as well. Obviously debut on the platform Under the Lens Business. So I'm going to ask you the same thing before, because obviously there's I've got 2 more questions, and then we'll get into a few bits from the chat before we round it up, because I'm pretty sure they've got a few questions for you as well. So same thing I kind of asked Mike's. If you can change 3 things at your club, like with immediate effect for the better, what would you do, bro?
is it just players or
whatever you want? I mean, Mike said he'd get rid of the owners. He said the stadium. Like he was going off. So you know, whatever you feel, my bro. 3 things, man. If you had that magic wand, bing, what would you do?
I'd get a new fan base.
There you go.
No, okay. Okay. New sporting director. When Stan Stewart leave. Go get me Campos. Newcastle sporting director just left. Don't know, I can't remember his name. He just left.
I think that was today, wasn't it?
Yeah. So you get me him, or you get me a Campos, or a Michael Edwards now at Liverpool. You get me a world-class sporting director now. Because people love to praise PSG's project of, oh, look, the young model does work, but people forget that their spine has experienced players. Yeah. Donnarumma. Yeah. You've got Marquinhos playing at centre back. You've got Hakimi. You've got Dembele. The pressure's on them, not on João Neves and co. And they got Kvaratskhelia in January, but we were looking at Garnacho. So, you know. So that's what I would do. In terms of our owners, I want to, like, people can say what they want about our owners, not knowing anything about football, whatever, but they're splashing the money. So it's not as if the money's not there. They're splashing the money. They clearly do care, because remember under Potter where there was talks of Bowley entering the dressing room and saying it's not enough and it's not good enough and whatever. They do care. If you look at the way when this a game against Forest, Bowley was at the ground hugging players and stuff. They care. They want us to they want to push us back to where we belong. The off the field stuff in terms of the financial stuff and the exposure and the branding, they do all of that. That's cool. But we can only do the branding stuff if we're actually successful on the pitch. That's what owners sometimes don't understand, is like the name of Chelsea or an Arsenal or a Man United only holds so much weight. But if we're not successful, all of a sudden it's Man United 13 years without a title, Arsenal 20 plus years without a title, Chelsea, I think it's like 8 years now. All of a sudden it's like, fine, you're a big club, but show me that you're a big club. Do something, you know? So
I get it.
New sporting directors, like I said, Osimhen. I'd get a centre back. I'd get to partner Colwell. I would. Rudiger would be perfect. If you could bring back Rudiger with working hamstrings, he'd be perfect. Because we need that sort of like aggressor in that defense to partner Colwell. Because Colwell's more so like kind of like at Arsenal. Saliba is like the chilled, cultured center back. I love to play with the ball. I look good.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
Gabriel's more so the rugged guy, you
yeah,
know, like a Vidic. I'll
yeah.
be in your face. I'll be a bully. That's kind of what we need to partner Cole.
Mm,
So I'd love it to be a Rudiger. But I think that's probably my three: sporting
yeah.
directors, striker, center back.
There you go. There you
That's
go.
probably it.
Bosh. And honestly, like I said, man, I think I mean, obviously, like I said, it can include players, it can include staff, but for me, like I said, you only need three pieces, in my humble opinion: goalkeeper, centre back, competent striker, and you're good to go. Brilliant. So about you and about your channel, my bro. I mean, are you very active on your channel, or are you just kind of going on other people's platforms at the minute? I mean, what's your YouTube journey looking like at the moment, bro?
I'm mainly just on other channels. I'm on Sarcasm City a lot.
Big
Um
Flawless.
Sarcasm City, Flawless, and co. And we also just launched a clips channel, which I run, and I make clips and stuff for it.
Brilliant.
I'm on Mike's channel a lot. We've got a show actually tomorrow, so we will be I'll be celebrating the Conference League shamelessly for a few minutes. But no, we'll be like reviewing the season and stuff like that, and talking about season awards, team of the season, player of the year, and things like that.
Yeah.
I'll actually be jumping on Lewis's channel in a few minutes.
Free.
Yeah, Carefree Lewis G. We'll be previewing our Conference League final tomorrow. And that's mainly it for the most part. I'm on Casually FC sometimes.
Okay. So in terms of like your,
that's mainly about it. That's mainly about it. But
yeah. So I mean, it sounds like you're busy, obviously, especially if you're kind of doing the clips channel as well. So
yeah,
I mean, are you going to start pumping out more content on your own, or is it just we're going to see how it goes?
I technically have a YouTube channel, but I don't post on mine.
Yeah, no, I'm subscribed. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling people to go and subscribe to it. But if there's another channel that you'd rather promote, or don't know what's happened there. Let's get him back in.
Oh,
it's all right. Don't worry. I don't know what happened there. This is
no. Actually, subscribe. Sarcasm City TV clips. I can send you the link. Hold on.
Yeah. Or one of the mods, they're quite good at that. Usually can get into that. Let's obviously subscribe to Ladamus's channel as well. Let's show love. It's free, but then also go and subscribe to the Sarcasm. Yeah, this was it. TV clips, was it?
Yes. I got the link now. 1 second.
Brilliant. And yeah, I mean, obviously I've come to the end of my questions, but we are gonna quickly scroll through the chat and see, while you're doing that, what people have got to say, see if there's any questions for the guest. Big up BBK saying, Ladamus, are you keeping Sancho? Question marks.
No.
For you, would you keep him? I mean, I mean, you said he was going back, but I mean, I think he means more, would you keep him?
Sancho's a weird one. Like, he doesn't suit the way we play. So no, I wouldn't keep him. I don't even fully think he suits the league. Maybe like 5-10 years ago, he would suit the league more. But the way wingers are now, like everyone wants to play with an inverted fullback. So the wingers, you've got to be 1v1 specialist now. You don't have an overlapping fullback, so you have more time. So I just think he just got to leave, go to a different league, or maybe if managers would actually play him in the 10, it would work for him. But yeah, I think he's going back to United. But I mean, to be fair, I'd keep him so we could sell him and get the money from him because he's English. But so I would do. But he seems like he's going back to United. Funny enough, he actually would suit Amorim style because he can play in the 10s. But Man
right.
United ran so poorly that they don't know what they're doing,
Yeah,
so who really
that's a hot
knows?
mess. But no, that was quite crude. They're quite smart. Yeah, we'll keep him so we can English tax. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Big up Godfrey. He's saying, Prime. Would you take a Braithwaite?
Gerard Braithwaite. Um, yeah, I just posted the link in the private chat for the
Private.
channel.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, if you could or you can put the thing in the title.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
we'll definitely sort something out.
Yeah.
100%.
Gerard Braithwaite, I do like and I do rate, but for the money, because again he's English, so when you have to add up English tax, he's not worth it.
Okay. Fair play indeed. Let me see if there's anything else that they've got to say. Hold on, here it is in the chat anyway. There we go. So make sure you guys, I'll copy it and put it in the title anyway. Make sure you guys are going to subscribe to that. Ladamus' channel's in there as well. Just go and show him a little bit of love over there as well. Like I said, it's free, so let's not be stingy, people. Just gonna try and see if there's any more questions here. Big up Mr. Robbo. He said Action Jackson, Raheem Shillings, or Jaden Bencho, Nuno Madafake. What an attack! Look at Robbo, he's trying to bloody troll. we're gonna have Robbo on tomorrow, so if you want to tune into that, you can come and do your trolling as well. Big up Mr. Robbo.
Who does Robo support?
He's an Arsenal fan.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I mean, thank you for Havertz. Are you going to pay us more money?
Thank you for Havertz. Yeah, we still can't get rid of this donkey. Have you seen him recently as well? They're like, oh, he's transformed. I'm like, transformed to what?
Yeah,
bro?
I saw he's bulked up in training and he's quick now, and I'm like, yeah, you're not signing Gyökeres.
yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want to hear that shit. And even the other day in the press conference, someone said to him about Havertz and Mikel Arteta. He looked down and he was all like smiling. He's like, oh, have you seen him? I'm like, oh my days, this guy loves him. Like, we're in trouble. But hopefully, Berta, he's our last last hope. He's our last hope. Big up Godfrey. He's saying, when is Quenda gonna arrive? Don't forget you signed him as well.
Yes, we did. Quenda's gonna be here 2026, so next summer. Which Quenda's young, but at that point, I think he would have played 100 games or over 100 games.
Wow.
For Sporting, he's been playing. This is his second full season playing for them now. So, he has minutes under his belt. He has a lot of minutes under his belt. He's an experienced player.
Yeah,
which is good because that's what we need to bring in now. So even though he's young, he is an experienced winger that's coming in, and he'll definitely have a starting place because Madueke and Neto,
yeah. No, I hear it. I'm surprised with Neto, man, because when you guys got him, I was like, that's probably someone we should have been looking at. But he always looks dangerous, but it's just obviously conversion, isn't it? Really, I suppose. Big up Robbo. Sorry, go on.
It's not even just that. Sorry, it's not even just that. It's that, like, I'm not the biggest fan of our wingers, right? But I will say Sancho, Neto, Madueke. If only we had, if we had Osimhen, they would benefit a lot more. Neto's best time at Wolves was when he had Jimenez to bounce off of. Sancho, when he was at Dortmund, both spells, he had Haaland and he had Fulkrug. And Madueke, just the way he plays and his profile, kind of reminds me a bit of like a Rashford type, Leao type of inside forward, where I just want to cut in and score goals. And when I look at Rashford and Leao, they've both benefited off of having like a target, like link up striker. Right. So, Rashford had Martial, and he had he was that guy that was at Burnley. He got in on loan. For a season.
For a season, what, at United?
Yeah, remember in January Ronaldo got sold, and then they brought in a Dutch striker on loan. He used to be at Burnley.
Someone in the chat, jog our memory.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I get the point.
Yeah. Like you know, Leao, he had Giroud, and that season they won the Serie A. I think Madueke would benefit off of someone like an Osimhen. So, and again, and also SFI would benefit off of an Osimhen, Quenda as well. So I'm like, as much as people are looking at our wingers iffy, if we have Osimhen next season, people are saying Neto's one of the best wingers in the league again, just because of having someone like that up there. Osimhen's the sort of striker where he's like, he draws centre backs towards him, which just creates more space for a Madueke, Neto, Sancho to be able to operate in, which is probably something Arsenal don't have, because defenses know if we focus on our left-hand side, where Saka is, Arsenal don't really have much else. But if you guys had a Gyökeres, or you had, say, a Lookman on the left-hand side, then all of a sudden, well, if we focus on Saka, Lookman's going to do something. And
exactly.
It gives you guys more of a threat, and that's what Chelsea we really need. Because now people are only focusing on Palmer, but if we bring in more quality in our attack, you can't mark out Palmer and mark out Osimhen and then mark out Madueke, who will get a goal from somewhere, or Sancho. You know, it's just too many. It's too many options.
Levels. It brings up the levels, and you've now got the money, obviously, being in the Champions League to be, you know, in that kind of bracket in the transfer market. You want Havertz. Heard he's good. I doubt he's gonna want him back. Big up Jordan. He's saying big up chat. Big up Mr. Robbo. Mr. Robbo's bigging up Jordan. Big up It's Me Everest, man. Hope you've been good today. He said big up everyone. Haven't heard any follow-up news about the horrible incident of yesterday. Hopefully people affected are recovering well, both physically and mentally. Yeah, no, that's disgusting, man. I wouldn't even wish that on Tottenham's parade. Like, you don't. But anyway. Jordan saying big up Lebo. Big up, man. Big up It's Me Everest. Just want to see if there's any more questions. Smash the like and subscribe. Yeah, do that for everyone, man. The sarcasm clips one, there's both links are in the chat. Make sure I'm going to pin it afterwards, but make sure you're going to subscribe. BX Gunner saying big up Prime, big yourself up, BX. Big up, yeah, man. Dio, big up Dio is saying I consider Chelsea to be filthy cheats. By the way, look, Dio, he's on one. Big up Robbo. Robbo's also saying, Dio's saying Arteta is getting 2 more years. He has Josh on his side. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, this is about my guest. Let's see what he's saying here. He's got something about Chelsea. Chelsea trying to copy the Arteta model, and they're going to keep the manager longer than they should. Well, we kind of touched on that a little bit, and you did touch on it as well. You'd only kind of give Maresca like 3 years and nothing more than that, which I think is fair. As for the comment about copying the Arsenal model, what do you think on that, bro?
No, because if that was the case, then Potter would still be here. I think this ownership has shown that they are also ruthless. Because remember, there was talk last season of, Poch, even if we don't get Champions League football or we don't get Europe, he'll still stay, and he was gone. So I think if we're in year 3 with Maresca and he's still not able to get over the line for the league, we're still challenging and stuff, and we look good, but we're still not able to cross the line, they will look at other options. You know, it is what it is. And that doesn't mean that like Maresca's shit. It just means that he's probably reached his ceiling, or not even reached his ceiling. He's like a very young manager. I don't expect him to be able to win a league title or a Champions League. Same way, I don't think it's fair to expect that of Arteta. However, Arteta's at Arsenal, who are supposed to be a big club. So the expectation at big clubs is to win titles and Champions Leagues. So that's, but if Arteta was doing this at like, I don't know, like
Brentford or
Newcastle or Villa, people wouldn't have this pressure of, oh, why hasn't he won the league yet?
Right.
Like,
I understand,
but because it's different expectation.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're bang on there. Absolutely, it is a different expectation. We can't afford to coast. You can't afford to be next year, and it's the same for you guys, especially in the last 20 years. Won everything there is to win. Like, those standards have to kind of be kept going. Won't be a big club if you don't win trophies for long enough, and all the old fans get old and die. Arsenal settings, yeah, bro. That's it. I mean, we did touch on it. Do you Chelsea man want Kivior? Bro, that is never going to happen. I'm hearing stupidness about he's being valued at 60 million. I don't, like I said, man, we're in the upside down at the moment. I'm telling you that. Big up Dio again. He said, I told Flawless that United aren't culturally built for three at the back when they got Scammer in. Wonder what's Arrow always gets in my way. Wonder what he's saying now because he disagreed then. Well, like I said, it's hindsight, innit? It's hindsight. And obviously, you know, Prime can't answer for Flawless, bro. Yeah, there you go. And Dio's put the link in there for the clips.
I'll you know what? I'll even who's
Go on, what, you gonna chime in?
No, who put in that comment?
Dio, boy 10. I call him Dio, but boy 10.
All right, cool. I'll ask Flawless that actually on the next Q&A on Sarcasm City. You tune in and put that comment in the chat, and I'll bring this up. And
there you go.
I'll ask Flawless that.
There you go. Boom, boom, boom. You see, man said got you. I hear it. There you go, man. There you go. He's also saying United need Sancho next season. Well, Prime did say that he'd probably fit their team a lot more than Chelsea. So I think we've touched on that. Gayheworth, if that's how you say his name, I always mash these names up. Or Goy.
Yeah. Cool. Guehi. I don't know. Is it like? I mean, wherever he was worked before, they just won the FA Cup, so double it now.
Yeah, that's a good answer. That is a good answer. These man cursed us with Havertz. Well, you can't say these man, bruv. It's, you know, they didn't come and say, you know, come and take him, come and pay this money, come and put him on those stupid bloody wages. Like, but anyway, big up Dio. He said, I have no respect for Chelsea. Okay, Jesus, well, it's a safe space for Prime and for you, but as long as we're being respectful. He said, boy, I started putting lemon on my lamb chops, game changer. You're squeezing lemons, bro. Yeah, I hear it. Sancho is probably better than Martinelli, all things considered. No, I was saying that. He went for a period, I think from Jan or from, I don't know when it was. He went from a period where he didn't score for a bit, but I've been saying, man, yeah, I think, you know, I think he's better, definitely on the eye anyway. I'd 100% agree with that. What's your thoughts on that?
Martinelli is... I look at what Inzaghi's doing at Inter Milan. What a lot of players that people wouldn't take. If I said at the start of the season, would you guys take an almost 40-year-old Mkhitaryan? People would laugh at me. If I said, would you guys take a Çalhanoğlu? People would laugh. If I said, would you take a Marcus Thuram or Lautaro? People would laugh. Acerbi's like 40 years old. Jan Sommer, they signed for like, what was it, 15 mil. They've got Dumfries at wing back. But when you look at what Inzaghi's getting out of them, I think if Arsenal had a better manager, a more experienced manager, an attack-minded manager, I think you can get a lot out of Martinelli. Again, I don't think he's the best footballer or anything, but he is a direct goal threat and he knows how to score goals, or at least he did know how to, but barring the last like maybe couple of years. But he was doing well under Emery, and I know that was for a short period of time, but he also did well at the start of Arteta's tenure. I just think you just get a different manager, it'll just be able to get certain things to click. Like, again, the example with Chelsea. Gusto looked amazing last year. Now, different manager, different system, and he looks like one of our worst players. Yeah. Like, it's just that little tweak. I think Saka, as good as he is, you can get even more out of him. I think you can get more out of Odegaard.
Of course, yeah.
I just think it's just...
Our manager's too pragmatic, bro. That's what it is. Our manager's too scared. Like, he'll definitely dull a player. If you're full of light and you're full of freedom and creativity, Arteta will definitely dull you down. System, you know, he's more concerned about tracking back than going forward, which is the, you know, it's the bane of our club. It's the dross, it's the bullshit that we have. Big up man like E Ross, mama Maybach music, big yourself up. E Ross said Latimus Prime is a good dude, always watch him on Wolfie and JPT stream. There you go.
Yeah, big up Ross.
Big up E Ross, man, definitely a YouTube staple in terms of the mods and all that. Big up Dio. He said that's because you man making too much noise about Poch. Was bad optics for the owners. I suppose. I mean, it's perception, isn't it? Big up. Go on. Sorry.
It's yeah, but you can say that. But you know, a manager, an experienced manager who's used to developing a young side, failing to meet his objective is also a bad optics for the owners. You know. So I don't know. There's that too.
Clap back. Let's go, bro. He said check out Prime on Chic Show, Mud Brothers every week. Big up
Yes.
Gunner.
Yes, my brothers every week. Yesterday was a good one. Yesterday was a good one. It was yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
go and check it out, man. Sounds like you guys have already seen Prime around, which is good stuff. So make sure you go and check out all the shows that he's on. Subscribe to his channel, subscribe to the clips, the Sarcasm TV clips. Both links are in the chat. We will pin it after the live as well. BX said Martinelli needs a new manager. Yet Prime agreed. Eros said 100% facts. Eros said really good dude right here, speaks facts. There you go. So you're getting your flowers. And then we finally got to the end of the comments. So yeah, we are coming on past. I've got another show in like at 7:30, and I've got to go and quickly do a bit of cooking. But yeah, man, it was really good to have you on, my bro. Like I said, man, anything you got coming up? I know you've mentioned a few shows and other stuff like that, but stuff we got to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually, to be fair, I just got home, so I'm gonna try and get something to eat as well. But like, I'm gonna head on Loser's Stream. Mike's channel tomorrow, 10 p.m. So you know, we talk about Chelsea, we talk about West Ham, we talk about the Prem and football in general. Obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan, he's a West Ham fan, so we always find a way to cook Arsenal. I'm just, it's just the truth. We always find a way. Hey, Gal says something, so why can't we talk about it?
Game,
but yeah,
game, yeah.
It is good. But yeah, there's that. There'll be Q&A this week on Sarcasm City, not sure. We'll be posting more on the Clips channel. We just dropped one yesterday. There'll be another video dropping today. I've made a lot of videos that are, waiting to be dropped and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I think that's probably about it. Conference League final obviously tomorrow as well. So
I would say good luck, but I don't mean it. You know what I mean? So
I mean, follow me on Twitter, Ladimus Prime, and if I actually, let me not say that, but yeah, we're winning the Conference League. So this.
Go on. Hey,
No. I don't put. I'm not putting that atmosphere. Into the atmosphere.
Into the atmosphere.
Yeah. But yeah, we actually, before we actually end it, if I can just quickly ask, like maybe 60 seconds, sum up your thoughts on Arsenal's season. Like, what were you thinking going into it? How did it pan out? Why do you think you fell off? I know you say you want Arteta to go, but like, have you always wanted him to go? Like, just real quick, 60 seconds.
Yeah, sure. Look, he's waiting to clip me up. But
I'm not. I'm genuinely not.
No. It's all good. And I say, even if you're roasting Arsenal, I'm here. I put my face on the internet. Anytime you do that, you got a channel. You put your opinions. That's the game. So I don't understand why people get upset about that. I don't. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for it. Come and clip me up, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I'm here for it.
You don't. At least from what I've seen, you don't say anything. Like.
Hey, my opinion is.
I don't think you've ever said something like, "Why are we talking about Champions Leagues? Let's make a combined 11." I don't think you've said anything like that. So you're good, bro. You're good.
No. But yeah, just to answer your question, man. Like, obviously, for me with Arteta, I didn't want a novice. I wanted Ancelotti at the time. But all the Arsenal fans, look what he done at Everton. They always do this. They're so. They're just one of the most annoying fan bases in world football. They just that's the facts. I never wanted him, but we got him. Everyone keeps talking about, look where Arteta brought us, bro. It was 8th, 5th, and that 5th we bottled Champions League to Spurs. So I don't understand this whole rhetoric of look at where. So for me, this guy's an amateur. He's supposed to be improving us, but we're improving him. But long story short, I didn't want him. Like I said, the first couple of seasons weren't great. Then we went into 22-23, and it was a total I can't even say the word. You know what I'm trying to say? Anomaly. There you go.
Anomaly.
Yeah. There you go. So no one expected that. Not Arsenal fans, not rivals, nobody. And all you had to do is tweak that. Obviously, we bottled it. That's also like Chelsea. It's in our DNA around Christmas time or whatever. We are known for doing that as well. But there was something there. The football was exciting. So I'm like, okay, I can look at this and say we just need to tweak a few things. We'll go again next season. Then we went into last season. So not this season, this, I think 23-24. Yeah. and we've had the most underwhelming. Well, we didn't. We had quite a good summer. We had quite a good summer. We went again, but we started slow, and everyone was giving Arteta credit for it. But I don't know. I was seeing the cracks for me. I was seeing the cracks. But we came back from Dubai. We had a good January. We was blowing teams away for a little bit, and then we kind of scraped out the rest of the league, where we still managed to mess it up, and it was still in other people's hands. But seeing the Premier League trophy at the Emirates, that kind of drew me in a little bit. His little speech at the end, I'm like, all right, we bottled it last season. It don't seem like we've learned from it this season, but surely it's got to be this season. Third time lucky, bro. Michael Jackson settings. This is it, yeah. It's surely got to be. And then, well, the rest is history. We spend the whole fucking summer chasing 2 squad players that no one wanted in their life. Yeah, we got Meg the Sterling from you guys, which is the worst player. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
Meg the Sterling is oh my god.
Meg the Sterling. He don't get his real name, bro. And to be honest, after we went out the Champions League, I was just like, can we just send him back, please? Like, you guys are still paying a part of his wages, so he can get into the car park. He should still be allowed to go to his locker or something. Just take him back. Like, we don't need this guy. Anyway, we got him, and not just him, but we also got Norbert Neto. I don't even know who this guy is, bro. Like, another waste of space, cup tied. Like, it's just been an absolute shit show. And then we go into this. That was just the summer. Then we go into the season, and we're playing shit football from day one up until we end the season. I've never looked at it like us against Man City, us against Madrid. That's the anomaly. That isn't the normal Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So it's just been an Arteta for me this year, because everyone, for the Arsenal fans, they say he's only had one bad year. No, he's been here half a decade, bro. He's only had 2 good years, and he still didn't win. You still didn't win. Everything was going for you. So for me, I think we've missed our chance to win. I think we've now set ourselves back a couple of years. So this season was a total, like the cliff. We just drove straight off it, bro. That was it. You know what I mean? And I think it's done now. I think you guys, if you get your pieces, may have a better chance than us next year of actually challenging. The same with Newcastle. If they get pieces, and Liverpool back to back, it's looking like it. Florian Wirtz, Kirkes, Frimpong. If they get a competent striker, it's looking. So I feel like we've stepped back a few seasons, Arsenal. So it's just going to be more banter, more joke, and that's Arteta's fault, in my opinion. I feel like, as you said, he's done all right to a point. He's like the Brendan Rodgers, like only at Liverpool, though. Let me not disrespect Brendan Rodgers, but you've taken us to a point. Now it's time. Now it's you can't. You've had everything you've needed, bro. Because now this season you want to say injuries, red card. Well, you never got that for the last 2 seasons. We had one injury, Saliba. That's it. But your whole thing's gonna collapse. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just feel like this year, Arsenal board and the manager especially have been exposed, and it's gonna take a monumental summer this year if we're even gonna be in any talk next season. Yeah, it's probably a bit more than 60 seconds, but that's my thoughts on it.
Hey, spot on. Spot on. See, I can't clip facts. There's nothing to laugh
at. Clip it, bro.
Oh, spot on. Spot on.
Bro. Yeah, bro.
A question I have for Arsenal fans. So I would like you, actually, when you do streams of Arsenal and stuff, I would like you to ask this. Does Spurs winning the Europa and then potentially winning the Super Cup, because they're in the final, so who knows, is that enough for Arteta defenders to wake up to what's actually going on? 5 years, potentially going into your 6th season without a trophy. Your rivals just won a Europa League and they don't win anything ever. Is that not enough for them to wake up?
Prime, you'd think it would be. But we've got guys singing into hairbrushes. Arteta, they want to have his babies. Like I call it the trifecta.
I saw that. I'm like, were you trying to be cringy? Like, what are we doing?
I'm telling you, like, for people on my side of the fence, yeah, we don't get traction. Everyone says you're just saying it for views. I don't get no traction, bro. It's those guys that are singing we want Arteta's babies and that. They're the ones that get traction. Like, they're turning us in. Like, if Arsenal Football Club was an area, it would be Shoreditch. Do you understand? Like, the only way is Arsenal. Arsenal's next top model season 6. Like, what is going on at this club? Not my club that I used to watch go invincible and get doubles and do all this shit. Like, Nah, bro. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone. So you're right. You're bang on the money. What would it take for these guys to switch up? Well, it seems that not even a Europa, not even a major European cup for Spurs before us is enough, because these guys are still coming up with excuses. They're still talking about next season is got to be it, bro. After we went out to the champions, PSG, I was like, go and give him his P45 right there and then leave him in France, bro. That's me. That's me. But nah, it's a great question, bro. And nah, these guys, that is not enough yet. And that's why I say we're in, if you've ever watched Stranger Things, I say we're in the upside down. What is it going to take? What is it going to take for these men to say enough is enough, bro? Do you get
I
me?
don't
So,
know.
bro, yeah,
'Cause
yeah, go on.
you would think Liverpool, you know, Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, Liverpool, they're not good. Start first year, and they go on to win the league, and now they're trying to do. Oh well, Liverpool didn't even match our points total last year, so it's like if Liverpool win it, slot for phase one slots, phase two, and I always win in my second season. I packed it. Phase one, Maresca wins a trophy.
Oh,
Was it first season Glasner? First full
yeah.
season Glasner wins a trophy.
Oh,
Was it phase three? Howe wins a trophy.
oh,
Emery's in Europa next year.
it's
We know
dark.
what he does in the Europa. I think he's going to win it with Villa. Like, what are we doing now at this
Oh,
point?
oh,
It gets then it's 6 years, no
oh,
trophy with Arteta. It's 21 or 22 years, no title with Arsenal, and
dark.
it gets to a point where it's like,
It's dark. I know. I know. I know. I know. And the thing is, I don't know the way out, bro. I'm looking for the portal to get out of the upside down. Yeah, I feel like we're hypnotized. You know, the sunken place. I'm looking for some way out, but it's when we've, like, I call it the trifecta of evil. Yeah, so you've got the owners and the manager, then you've got the top gooners and AFTV, and there was something else. I've just gone brain dead. I should normally know this, but anyway. But while we've got those facts, because we've got 100,000 people on the waiting list, Prime. So say for instance, all the diehard season ticket fans say, "Fuck this, we're taking bums off seats," bro. They just fill it up like that. They fill it up like that. It's absolutely bonkers. Our club is a joke. When I listen to other people, a lot of this stuff sounds similar. It does, but we can only fight our own fights. Do you know what I mean? And mine is not, it's not looking good, bruv. In the words of Castillo, it's not looking good, bruv. You know what I mean? It's not. Big up, why not? He's saying Amazon Prime, All for Nothing season 7. Yeah, it's coming, bro. He's saying big up views and Prime, big yourself up.
big
Theo
up, bro.
saying, yeah, man. He's saying phases, tired of phases. It was crazy people that were writing off Liverpool start of the season. Yeah, yeah. It's about the journey, Ladamus. Yeah, this is why you're not Arsenal. It's not about the destination with us, innit? It's all about the
I'll be
journey.
real. No one cares about your journey unless you win.
Facts.
No
Big
one,
facts.
no one cares. In 2012, semi-final of the Champions League against Barcelona, we were a man down, 2-0 down at the new camp. No one cares, but we
Yep.
won the Champions League, so now you care. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Facts. 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 Theo saying crazy. Hold on, we have to outmaneuver AFTV to get the truth on this club into the world. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. These lot are like corporate guys now, innit? And I feel like they're affecting, especially the fan base and their outlook on the club. Why not saying Arsenal Lemons in my personal WAGC are still saying Slot had no bearing because they had Salah, VVD, Allison. I'm tired of that shit as well, bro. He's a competent coach. It weren't his team. They was in 4 competitions. They never won it all, but they could have. Do you know what I mean? Right. But anyway, guys, I do need to end it. I've got to go and get this food cooked quickly, and then I'm on back at 7:30. But Ladamus, thank you so much for coming on, bro. It's been a pleasure. We'll definitely set up something else again as soon as we can. Make sure you guys go to subscribe to Ladamus. Yeah, man, it was a pleasure having you on, bro. Quick air horn. Let's give him a round of applause as well. Yeah, quick round of applause as well. And I'm going to hot man up. It's his birthday as well. So go over and make sure for his birthday you go and watch him on Sarcasm as well. I think he's up there next. So yeah, man, big up everyone. Thank you for your questions. Thank you again for Ladamus. This has been Under the Lens. I will chop it up soon and get some clips out. But we'll be back again soon, man. Big up everyone. Peace. Big up Ladamus as well, man. Peace, man. Peace.
Big up, big up.